And so as you come to seated, just find something that feels comfortable for you. We're going to start with a basic pranayama practice, a breathing practice. All right, and then once you find your seated pose, the mudra we're holding today will be your thumb is going to press to the inside of your pinky. Right? The inside of your pinky, so closest to the ring finger side. And you're going to do that on both hands. And then you're going to release your arms out with your palms facing up. All right, and we're just going to focus on the breath, just breathing naturally first. And try to keep the pressure from the thumb to the inside of that pinky. Close your eyes. Work on stimulating the respiratory processes and the generous rise and fall of your lungs. Bringing fullness to your diaphragm. We're going to take time to notice the right side of the face. Notice the right nostril. Just simply breathing in and out. And notice the interior of the right side of the skull. Just breathing in and out. Notice the back of the skull. Notice the right ear. And then carefully notice the left side of your face and your left nostril. Just simply breathing in and out. And notice behind the left side of your skull, within the skull. And the back of your head. And your left ear. And physically release your right palm. Place your right palm down. Keep holding and touching thumb to left inside of the pinky. Focus on the heart, the physical heart. So that is the interior of the left side rib cage. Start to deepen your breath. Notice the left armpit. And traveling down the inner lining of the left arm, the pinky side, to the inside of the elbow, and the inside of the left wrist. Moving all the way to where you're holding that mudra, the inside of your left pinky. And just focus on the inside of your left pinky. Notice the light touch there. Keeping the body calm, keeping the breath moving. Release the gesture, so release your hand. Keep your left palm up, still focusing on the inside of your left pinky. Traveling to the inside of the left wrist. Notice it. Along the inside of the left arm, all the way up to the interior of the armpit. Sense it. And across the collarbone, back to the physical heart muscle. Breathing to the interior of the left side rib cage. Open your eyes enough to notice the space around you. Reach your arms up to the sky. Focus on breathing into the back of your lungs. Stretching intensely from the armpits upward towards the fingers. So activate the muscles of the arms. Elevate your lungs. Activate your arms, reaching. And then release your hands down and feel the heaviness of your shoulders. And carefully, step the feet to the earth. Once you step your feet to the earth, bring your feet together and bring your knees together. And start to notice the curvature of the spine as you take hold of your legs. Relaxing your head towards your knees, but very passively. And notice the most apparent sensation. So what are you feeling physically in your body with the most awareness, the most attention? What's standing out? Now notice your sacrum, your low back. Notice the curvature of your spine as your shoulders fold forward over your knees. Releasing the jaw and the tongue and the back of the neck. See if you can breathe down into the low back. So start to bring the breath all the way down to the bottom of your diaphragm. Feel the swell of the kidneys. And as you press into your feet, carefully unwind your spine. Reach your hands back up to the sky, reaching from the armpits upward towards the fingers. Focus on the reach and the engagement of the arms. Don't worry about your spine for a moment. Just focus on the reach from the armpits up to the fingers. Try for 4 more breaths. Last breath. Release your arms. Let your shoulders feel heavy. Turn your head from left to right. And then we're just going to move ourselves to hands and knees. So you can set any props on your mat off to the side. And we're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow. So make sure that your knees are about hip-width distance and that your wrist and shoulders are in line with each other. And then just begin to move naturally. And notice what you notice. So maybe it's the upper shoulders and upper back. Maybe it's the mid-back or the low back. Maybe the bottom of your rib cage. Stretch the areas that need most attention. Investigate any tension or tightness. And then carefully make your way to a neutral spine and start to walk your palms forward, allowing your rib cage and your heart to bow towards the earth. Notice the curvature of your low back here. Move your hips from side to side and massage the space between your shoulder blades. And very slowly press into your palms and make your way back to tabletop. And once you come back to tabletop, round your spine in a cat-like back and pause. And then shift your gaze forward and carefully tuck your toes. Elevate your hips up and back. And stretch your spine. So from your fingers, from your knuckles, from your palms, push forward. Draw the navel in and up. And extend your spine. Maybe 4 rounds of breath. Keep the crown of the head in extension, ears resting between your arms. Maybe 1 more breath. And then carefully drop down to the knees. Reach your heels over to the right side and gaze to the right side. And sort of curve the left side of the body. And you can draw your navel in and up if you like. You want to feel that stretch from the interior of your left hip. And then gazing back to center, walk your heels over to the left side and look to the left side, bringing curvature to the right side body. Maybe draw the navel in, reaching from the interior of the right hip. And then we're going to swing those heels over to the right side and shift yourself back a little bit. And then press into your palms and sweep your heels over to your left side and press back a little bit. And just do that a few times, just a little moving meditation here. All right, coming back to center, mobilize your lumbar, your low back. Draw your navel in and up. And then sink down heavily into your shoulders. Rising out of the shoulders. Sink down heavily into the shoulders. Again, rising out of the shoulders. Sinking into the shoulders. Beautiful. One more time. Rising out. And sinking in. All right, take your left hand out to the side. We're going to thread the left arm underneath the right, coming to the outer edge of your left shoulder. Once you arrive, start to notice the interior left side rib cage and breathe deeply. If you would like, you're more than welcome to extend your right leg back, pressing the toes into the earth, or elevating the right leg. Most important is that you're focusing on that left side rib cage, stimulating your lungs, noticing that stretch, your best effort. If your right leg is elevated, please bend your knee and bring it back. Let's all press into the right palm and unwind the spine. Do just a few more rounds of cat-cow. All right, let's see if we can take the right arm out to the side. And as you thread through that space, make sure you're coming to the outer edge of the right shoulder. Use your left palm to support you here. Breathing deeply into the lungs. If comfortable, you might step back with your left foot, rooting your toes, perhaps elevating the left leg to the sky. Don't forget your breath. If your left leg is elevated, please bend your knee and carefully set it down. Press into your left palm, unwind your spine. We're going to move the arms forward and set your hips back for Balasana Child's Pose. Take a moment to move your head forward and back. And then rolling along the spine. So tuck your chin, rise up to a cat-like back. Moving forward to upward facing dog. Draw your heart and sternum forward, but keep your knees down. Take your gaze over to the left side and then over to the right side. And then carefully lower to your belly and reach your hands back as you keep your head elevated. Press your toes into the earth and just notice your breath. Notice the expansion all the way down into the bottom of your belly and that subtle rise and fall. And then see if you can stack your hands on the small of your back with your palms facing up, still keeping your head elevated, but let your shoulders feel heavy. Just breathing in and out here. Slow your breath. Notice the effort needed. Maybe 2 more breaths. And then carefully release your hands, make a pillow for your head, and rest your forehead. Relax your belly fully, relax your low back. All right. We're crossing the right arm over to the left side, and the left arm is in front, moving over to the right side. Support on your forearms and support on your palms as you release your head towards your shoulders. Sink heavy into your shoulders here. If possible, allow your elbows to be in line with each other. Try to fully relax your abdomen. Again, notice the most prominent sensation. Just focus on that space. And maybe it's shifting and changing. even heavier through your shoulder blades now. And then carefully lift your gaze. Take your right arm out and cross your right elbow in front of your left. And come back to sinking heavily into the shoulders. So maybe less effort than before. Invite awareness to your senses. And carefully lift your gaze. Unwind your hands, placing your palms next to your ribcage. Press yourself up and back for child's pose, but keep the arms in full extension. Extend the crown of your head towards the front of the mat. Try and stretch from your armpit to your fingers again, lengthening from the low back. Notice the navel. See if you can draw it in and fill your low back a little bit. Keep the elevation of your armpits as you're stretching outward towards your fingers. And then press into your palms. Let's rise back up to tabletop. And start to move around through all four corners of your body. You're more than welcome to shift forward to a somewhat upward facing dog. And maybe the opposite direction with those circles. All right, and then just forward and back, and that can be any degree. And then just make your way to a seated pose with your legs extended forward. And take your arms up to the sky. Nice big breath. Bringing the elbows down the sides. Reaching forward and up. Exhale, elbows down the sides. Reaching forward and up. Good, one more time, elbows down the sides. Reaching forward and up. And this time as you press back, you're going to interlace your fingers and see if you can press your palms into the earth and draw your heart and sternum forward. Just do your best. Notice the humerus bone, the shoulder bone, moving forward. And then pressing towards your hips, release your hands, reach your hands back up. Bring your elbows down the sides again. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Elbows down the sides. One more time, inhale, big breath. And elbows down the sides. This time, very heavily fold forward. Let your feet be passive so your toes can reach away from the body. So we want to feel the curvature of the spine. Starting to breathe down into the low back. No effort here, so don't push or pull yourself any deeper than you need to be. Just use the appropriate effort. Breathing down into the bottom of your belly. Breathing into the small of the back. Breathing high into the cavity of the lungs. And then rising back up, reach your hands to the sky. Nice big breath. I'm going to pull the left knee in and root the left foot to the earth. Clasping the left knee, twist to your left side, maybe rooting your left palm to the earth. If comfortable, you're more than welcome to take the left knee towards the midline and bring your right elbow to the outside as you carry your right hand towards your left shoulder. We're going to stay here for about 7 breaths. Notice the rotation of the spine. See if you can stimulate behind your left shoulder blade. Reaching deeply into your left lung. Let that be your area of focus. And carefully unwind your spine. As you stretch your left leg forward, we're going to take the right hand to the outside of your left foot. Gaze to the left side and reach with your left arm. Stimulate your left kidney, breathing into the low back. Maybe 3 more breaths. And the first thing to release is your gaze, and then your arm. Reach your hands up. Exhale, pull the right knee in, and either clasping the right knee with your left arm or drawing the knee towards the midline, placing the left elbow to the outside, and using the knee for leverage to bring your left hand to your right shoulder. Breathing deeply. Stimulate your lungs. Notice your low back. Maybe you feel some heat generating there. stimulating pitta in the bottom of the stomach, a fire in the bottom of the stomach. And release your gaze as you reach your right foot forward. We're taking our left hand to the outside of the foot. Okay, continue to rotate your spine. Now reach with your right hand out. And really stretch from your right shoulder socket. Move from your mid-back. Open up your lungs. Notice behind your left lung again. Use your breath to massage your heart muscle. Notice your left shoulder blade. Breathe deeply, 2 more breaths. Good, let's bring it back. Reach your hands up. Roll to your back and stretch your spine, full body stretch. And then as you exhale, press the small of your back into the earth. Compressing in the shoulder blades. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, compress. Maybe 2 more like that. Stretch your belly too. Good, 1 more. And then place your hands on the mat and step your feet to the earth, rocking your knees from side to side. Starting to take your feet about hip-width distance on your mat, drop the right knee inward and see if you can cross your left knee over your right. If you're feeling any sensation in your right knee, you're more than welcome to step your right foot forward a little bit. You can let your arms reach out from the shoulder plate, palms facing up. Just use your breath. Try and relax your abdomen. If you are crossing the left knee over the right, use the left knee to sort of stabilize the right knee and then pull your right glute muscle back as you push your left knee forward into your right knee. So essentially, we want to feel the stretch of the right femur bone and the right glute. Left knee is pushing forward into the right knee if it's crossed. Right glute is pulling back just a little bit. And then relax your body, allowing a natural retraction. And just pause for maybe 3 more breaths. As heavy as you can be. on the next inhale, notice your left leg. Step your left foot back to the earth if it's crossing the right. And then invite the right knee back to the sky, but move the right knee outward and inward just a few times. So deep internal rotation towards the earth. And opening out to the right side, external rotation, just a few times. And as the knees come back, just move a little bit left and right, resetting. And when you are ready, we're going to try the left side. So make sure your feet are wide. As the left knee drops in, you're going to just allow it to continue to drop towards the earth. If you need to readjust your foot further away from your shoulder, further away from the head to support the knee, you're more than welcome to. If you want to, cross the right knee over the left, feeling the gravity and the weight of the right knee, stretching the interior and exterior of the left hip. Use your appropriate effort. No ego. You want to feel the body surrendering and allowing this moment. Tune into the apparent senses. What is most in your awareness right now? What are you feeling? What are you sensing? Continue to quiet the mind. Calm the body by way of a steady, slow, thoughtful breath. If your right knee is over your left and you would like to try that extension, you're going to press the right knee slightly into the left, maybe even the shin bone, and pull the left glute back a little bit. You want to feel that stretch from the very top of your left hip, lengthening the femur bone, stretching the deep muscle tissue, glute muscles, hamstring. Be gentle. Move slowly. Investigate along the way. It's a great stretch for the IT band. Any soreness in the hips? And the release is just softening so that you can allow the femur bone to naturally retract. And then just steady for maybe 3 to 4 more breaths. Just steady, just breathing. Notice the bottom of your left foot. Remove the right leg if it is crossed. Bring the left knee up, and then carefully in and out, left knee, in and out. Deep internal rotations, all the way out to that external rotation. And then pull your knees in and start to massage your sacrum. So you want to freely move your knees around and notice the small of your back. You can elevate your sits bones and elevate your tailbone as you're moving the knees towards the belly. Push the knees away slightly as you move to the upper glutes. Make sure you're finding the full surface, even rocking to the outer edges of your hips. So you want to move into the kidneys and the posterior portion of the body. Massage the back body. And maybe the opposite direction of movement. Circles the other way around. And then find the center of that. Send your heels to the sky, but your feet as wide as your hips. Rooting into the low back. All right, carefully. Right leg moves all the way to the earth. And then right leg moves all the way back to the sky. Left leg exhaling all the way to the earth. Slow inhale back to the sky. Right leg releasing towards the earth. Right leg back to the sky. Left side reaching towards the earth. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Let's do it with the head elevated. Breathe deeply into your lungs. Exhale, right leg down. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, left leg down. Inhale, left leg up. Right leg down. Right leg up. Exhale, left leg down. Inhale, left leg up. Bend your knees. Reach your hands. See if you can clasp your forearms, your elbows. If not, just clasp your knees. Keep your head elevated. Squeeze into your glute muscles and your quads. Squeeze your ankle plates towards your hamstrings. Draw your navel in. Breathe deeply into your lungs. Squeezing as tightly as you can. Breathe deeply into your lungs. Elevating the bottom of your pelvis. Notice yourself moving up your spine a little bit. So you can pull your knees closer to your body. Still breathing. We're almost there. 3 more breaths. Try and engage all the muscles of your legs. Your last breath. Release your head. Release your arms. Take your hands out to the sides. Step your feet to the earth. Planting the low back. Move your head from side to side. Completely release your jaw and your neck. And then once your head comes back to center, let's make some free circles with the right knee, massaging the right hip joint. If you would like to add the extension as the knee comes in and the leg moves out, you can extend your leg. Leg would be straight as it comes back to the midline, and then you would return to bending the knee. All right, move slowly. You can do it with the knee fully bent the whole time, or bring that extension of the leg along the way. And then bring the right knee in and give the right knee a nice squeeze, really tight squeeze. then releasing the right foot to the earth. We're going to pull the left knee in for a nice tight squeeze. Releasing the arms out to the sides, and start to massage the left hip. So again, that might be the knee bent the whole time. That might be bringing the knee out and extending the leg. As that moves back to midline, come back to bending the knee. Maybe 2 more cycles of rotation. And then pull the knees in. We're going to elevate the head. You're going to reach your hands to the sky. Let's roll along the spine. Make your way up. We're going to come down to the belly and do another shoulder stretch. Once you arrive on your belly, you're going to gaze over to the left side and reach the left arm straight out from your shoulder. See if you can plant the inside of the shoulder as you gaze to the right. We're using our right palm to support us here. And then as you elevate your right knee, you can choose today to set your right foot down or extend your right leg to the sky. That's up to you. Try and stretch the inside of the left shoulder, as well as the inside of your left shoulder blade. So you're going to feel that by pressing your palm into the earth, we're getting some compression on the left shoulder blade. Again, your right leg may be extended to the sky, or your right foot to the earth. If you would like to relax your head, you're also more than welcome. Use your breath. Notice that stretch of the left shoulder and shoulder blade. Notice the front, the pectoral muscle. Breathe deeply. Come back to the heart muscle. Come back to that left side rib cage. Breathe deeply. Maybe 3 more breaths. If your leg is extended to the sky, please bend your knee. Everyone, look down, roll back to your belly. Reach your arms as far forward as you can. Stretch your legs. Stretch your side body. Elevate your armpits. Extend the crown of the head. Think of full body stretch. And then carefully elevate your head. Walk your hands back in. We're going to press up and back for child's pose first. Notice the left side of the body. And round your spine. We're making our way back to the belly. This time, as you lower to the belly, we're reaching out with the right arm. Make sure it's straight out from your shoulder. Press your palm. Gazing to the left side, use your left hand to support you here. As you roll to the inside of that right shoulder, you can bend your right knee and set it down. Otherwise, elevate your leg to the sky. Your best effort. Notice the stretch. Keep breathing. Investigate. Keep breathing. Inside of the right shoulder blade, front of the right shoulder, right pectoral muscle, along the right arm, pressing the pinky side of the hand into the earth firmly. Keep breathing. Stimulate your lungs. Keep breathing. Wherever you are, 4 more breaths. Carefully. If your knee is extended to the sky, bend your knee. Roll to your belly. Come back to your palms. Press up and back for child's pose. And then rise to tabletop right away. And do a few rounds of cat-cow. Notice your spine. Notice your lungs. And the back of your shoulder blades. We're going to do one more downward facing dog. You could do half downward facing dog by walking your hands forward and letting your forehead travel towards the earth. If you feel comfortable, you're going to root your palms, tuck your toes, and shift your hips up and back. Choosing your variation, let's stay for 5 full breaths. Spacious lungs. If you are in downward facing dog, please drop down to your knees. If you are in half downward facing dog, please walk your hands closer until they're under your shoulders. One more round of cat-cow. Tuck your chin, round your spine. Inhale, sink your belly, and gaze forward. And then we're carefully making our way to seated. Let's introduce our prop. So if you have a bolster or a block, we're going to support the backs of the hips once we come down. If you're using a block today, we're going to try to use the block on a higher level, so either upward or the tallest level. You would be supporting your SI joint, your sacroiliac joint, if you're using your block. Otherwise, using a bolster or blankets to draw underneath your hips. Make sure that your feet are resting firmly to the earth. You can rest your arms out and open with your palms facing up. Breathing in and out here. If there's an opportunity to walk your shoulders a little closer, please walk your shoulders a little closer. Bringing a slight elevation to the chin. Breathing deeply into your lungs. We're going to take 4 more breaths. Reach with your arms in length. Arms are in line with your ears. Palms are facing up. Elevate your chin. 4 more breaths. And when you are ready, you're going to release your hands back down to the sides. Carefully root your feet. Elevate your hips, removing any prop that you might have. So that might be bolster, it might be block. Once you come down to the small of your back, send your feet to the sky about hip-width distance. Make sure that your sacrum is fully rooted to the earth. If you need to support the backs of your knees to keep your legs up, that's okay too. Just doing your best. Supporting along the spine and across the shoulders. Carefully elevate your head, interlace your fingers behind your head. One by one, release your legs to the earth. Make sure your feet are wider than your hips. Release your hands out to the sides. Close your eyes. Make sure your palms are facing up. Notice your breath. Making your way to the physical heart center, so the interior of the left side rib cage. Notice the heart muscle. Drawing a line of energy from the heart muscle to the interior of the left armpit. See if you can sense the interior of the left armpit. Traveling down the inner lining of the arm to the elbow, all the way to the inside of your left pinky. And focus your awareness and attention on the inside of your left pinky. And if possible, to focus your awareness and attention to that same side of the wrist, the inside of the arm, the left side of the wrist. And from the pinky and the wrist, moving back up the left arm towards the interior of the armpit and your left side rib cage, the lung, and the heart, the physical heart. From the physical heart, travel across the collarbone to the interior of the right armpit. Just bring your awareness there. And right armpit to the inside of the right elbow, all the way to the inside of the palm and the right pinky. Try and notice the wrist and the right pinky, the inside of the right pinky. Feel the pulsation of energy there. Moving back up through the interior of the arm, to the armpit, to the center of your being, both physical and spiritual heart. Release your body, release your breath. And the front and back of your lungs releasing. Along your spine, releasing. The belly and all the organs within releasing. Heavier through the skull, heavier through the arms, and heavier through the legs. Just resting, just breathing. Honor your being as a compassionate, open being. Knowing that because you are a compassionate, open being, you have clarity of mind. Your life experience operates from compassion and love. There is a sense of alertness and awakeness and sharpness. That comes from the compassionate and loving being that you are. Move your head from side to side. Awaken your fingers and your toes. Reach your arms for a full body stretch. And take time to roll to whichever side of the body is most suitable for you. Eventually, making your way to some kind of seated pose. bring your hands together. Fold forward, taking our final mudra today. Relax your head. And then carefully make your way to a seated pose. Knowing thankfulness and gratitude for the practice that always serves you when you are connected. I thank you for your practice. Namaste.